The night was chilly and the cold breeze slipped out in the slightly open window. The two men lay next to each other, covered only by a thin sheet that rested lightly on their wrists. Jungkook seemed to have peaceful drifted to the sleeping after confessing his love, but Taehoon watched while her face in the darkness outside and the heaviness inside and a wistful weight of he couldn't shake. Taehoon thought twins and turned replaying the event of the last night again and again. His sister's face flashed on his mind like a quiet but painful echo. She had been everything to him, his protector, his guardian, the one who had sacrificed so much. Then whispering to himself, I love my sister. The world felt empty in his throat, but the way through she had given him everything, yet here he was tangled in a web of guilt and betrayal. He stepped slightly carefully not to wake Jungkook, but his heart was heavy, thinking, how could I fall in love with this? How could I betray her and myself? Jungkook's soft voice suddenly broke the silence, almost like a quiet question. Jungkook, Taehyung, I know you are care about her, I do, but why do you ignore what your heart truly wants? Taehyung chest tightened as Jungkook was. He didn't want to talk about his heart, not now. His mind was a storm of confusion. Taehyung quietly, my heart is broken, I don't know what to do. Jungkook was soft and almost tender. Jungkook, you don't have to be afraid of your feeling. I'm here and I love you. No one else can love you like I do. Then solo heart feeling a lamp from his thread. Jungkook was echoed something deep inside him. A warmth he was not ready to accept him with a shaky breath. But I love her too, my sister. She's been there for me when no one else was. Jungkook reached out gently and brushed Taehyung's hair away from his face. Jungkook, that's true, but love is complicated, isn't it? Sometimes it surprises us where we least expected it. Taehyung eyes guilt with unanswered tears. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but right now the guilt and the hope tangled tight inside him. Taehyung softly, I don't know if I can fix this, if I can fix me. Jungkook pulled him closer. Jungkook, you don't have to fix everything now. We can find a way together. Just don't shut me out. In the weight of those words hang in the air. Taehyung closed his eyes, letting the quiet comfort of Jungkook's voice soothe inside. Slowly, sleep began to take them both, dropped them into a peace outside. The window faded into a night. The early morning light pressed through the catching long shadows around the room. Taehyung stayed in his sleep, his mind still tangled in a heavy thought. The cold breeze from the window had warmed slightly as a lock close to 6, making the start for another long day. Jungkook lay beside him, still not still and peaceful. His steady breathing filled with quiet from each breath. Steady calmly to Taehyung's restless heart, despite between them, despite the confusion and guilt, the silence felt peace. Taehyung's eyes fluttered open and he stared at the ceiling for a moment, gathered his thought. Then slowly he whispered, Taehyung, Jungkook, are you awake? There was no reply at first. Then he steadied rhythm of breathing. Then solo, then cried again, his voice barely able to whisper, Taehyung. About last night, I'm sorry, I'm so confused. Jungkook shifted slightly, opened his eyes, looking over him with a gentle smile. Jungkook, it's okay, Taehyung, you don't have to be sorry. I know it's hard. Taehyung gaze fall into his thin seat between them, and his voice cracked with doubt. Taehyung, I love my sister, but I don't know what this is. What I feel for you, this like I am thrown is too. Jungkook reached out, brushing Jungkook's forehead. Jungkook, love is near simple thing, but you are not alone. I am here and I'm not going anywhere. Taehyung closed his eyes, taking comfort in Jungkook's words. Thought the storm inside is still. Later, the morning brought into a mix of physical effort and mental finger. Taehyung really had to survive construction. I stood up and track. Today was we are going to do 20 laps. Before he could finish, Jungkook suddenly caused interruption. The moment he got it so clearly, with each making the superior pause, Jungkook's eyes met his superior, warming slightly, survived nervously. I mean 50 laps. Jungkook wished didn't soften. Another cause broke the silence. Survivor voice trembled. 10 laps. The survivor looked swallow under Jungkook intensely, swallow hard. Superior 5 laps. Before Jungkook finally nodded once, his arm crossed, but his eyes were still strong. Taehyung, unaware of the silence, said a smile brightly at Jungkook. Taehyung cheerfully, ready Jungkook, let's do this. Jungkook's expression softened, a small warm in his chest. Jungkook softly, always, as he ran side by side, the guilt of the night before began to fade. Their feet hit the track and the steady rhythm later and unspoken word pressed between them with every step. By the end of their 5 laps, Taehyung's face glowed with excitement. Soon Yoon appeared walking towards them with a smile that didn't quite his reach his eyes. Yoon looked like it's time for the gym. Jungkook quickly stepped in, pressing a hand gentle to Taehyung's temple, wiping away sweat. Jungkook firmly Taehyung needs rest before more exercise. Yoon raised an eyebrow. Yoon, but he only ran 5 laps. He is not tired. Gets harder. Jungkook, he is tired. That's final. Yoon took a deep step back, sensing Jungkook's sharp tone. Yoon, fine. Then the pool 20 laps. Jungkook crossed his arm. Jungkook 5 laps. The rest of the day passed with similar conversations. Jungkook controlled every decision. His priority clear. Taehyung well-being. When they returned to the drone, Yoon pulled Jungkook aside, frustration clear in his face. Yoon frustrated, what are you doing? You are spoiling him. If you keep this up, I'll never be ready for the field. Jungkook eyes darkened. He stepped closer, voice low and serious. Jungkook, do you want to send him back to the field? Even eyes widened and he took an instinctive step back. Yoon uneasy. He is critical. Jungkook eyes narrow, voice deadly calm. Jungkook, I will find a way to disqualify him if I have to. There was no arguing with the final in Jungkook's words. The day at the camp passed in a soft blur for Jungkook and Taehyung. Even with of the outside world, they found space in each other's company. They walked together, shared meals, and sometimes just sat in the silence, enjoying each other's presence. But not every day was peaceful. Jungkook still had responsibility, checking in with Jisoo or handling some part of their hidden mission. Whenever he left, Taehyung was left behind, his heart filling with a mix of emotion he didn't know how to handle. And softly watched Jungkook pick a small bag. Are you going to see her again? Jungkook watching her Then signing Taehyung, it's work. I had to check on some things with Jisoo. It's not what you think, Taehyung biting his lip. But every time you go, you say that, and every time I sit here waiting, wondering if you will come back with her still in your heart. Jungkook walked over and took Taehyung's hand in his. Jungkook gently, I've told you before, Tae, when this mission is over, everything will change. I am only with her because of the plan. It's not love, not anymore. Taehyung was trembling, but you haven't ended things with her, have you? You stay, it all be over later, but what about now? What if later never comes? Jungkook squeezes his hand. Later will come, I swear. And when it does, I'll make it right. I'll make everything right with her, with you, with us. Tengno slowly thought his eyes were heavy with doubts. There was help with the edges in his chest and didn't go away. Even at their past, the camp started to feel like a prison and more like home for the home that the staff respected him, sometimes even feared him, not because of anything he had done, but because he was now known as Jungkook lover. The home would hear the whispers, staff whispering among themselves, and that's him, Jungkook sweetheart, don't upset him after what happened last time. No one dare let him get hurt again. That last time was a day etched in everyone's memory. Jungkook had left for a short task, and in his ambition, Taehyung had been pushed too hard during training. He had collapsed from exhaustion. When Jungkook returned and found out he had stormed into the faculty's eye, plunging fury in every step, Jungkook further shouting at the guard who let this happen. He is not a soldier, he is under my care. His voice had turned toward the walls after that. No one dared to let anything bad happen to him. He was treated like royalty, like a precious angel that must be protected at all cost. But time didn't wait. The final mission was drawing near. Jungkook spent long nights planning, checking weapon, taking with his men in house. Was Taehyung didn't know how that his sister Jisoo was part of the operation. He only knew that something big was coming and Jungkook was preparing to leave again. When Jungkook told him Taehyung was settled a little, Taehyung shaking his heart was raging. No, you promised we are do this together. You said we were a team. In the room fell silence. Other people around them exchanged glances and slowly walked away, sensing that this was not a moment for outsiders. Taehyung stepping closer, heard in every word. You said we will face everything side by side. Why are you pushing me away now? Jungkook walked over to him, cupping his face with both hands. He trembled and gently wiped his tears from Taehyung's eyes. Jungkook softly, I'm not pushing you away, love. I'm trying to protect you. This mission, it's dangerous. I can't risk losing you. Taehyung was cracking. What if I lose you instant? Jungkook pulled him into a tight hug, burning his face in Taehyung's hair. His voice was calm but filled with love. Jungkook, you won't. I promise nothing will happen to me. I'll come back to you no matter what. He pressed Taehyung forehead. Jungkook whispering, when this is over, we are free. We all go away, just the two of us. No mission, no secret, just us. Taehyung crossed his eyes, holding onto Jungkook like he was the only thing keeping him standing. Taehyung quietly, please come back to me, Jungkook, always. Taehyung nodded, but he watched Jungkook walk away that evening. A deep fear settled into his chest. He didn't know what was coming, but he knew he couldn't survive if Jungkook didn't return. After saying goodbye to Taehyung, Jungkook made his way to ABC Club where Jisoo worked. The building was quiet. The floor echoed softly breathing. Footsteps. We found her in the break room sipping coffee while the vending machine. Without a word, Jungkook stepped forward. Jungkook softly with a sign, "I miss you so much." Jisoo started, then laughing nervously. Meanwhile, back at the camp, Taehyung had grown restless. He couldn't stop thinking about where Jungkook had gone. The guards had become more relaxed, distant, and he knew this was his only chance. He pretended to feel dizzy during morning training and exhausted himself. Once free, he used every skill he had learned, every bit of his training to slip past the camp inns to look a hidden route into the city and follow Jungkook's trail. His heart pounded with each step, thrown between curiosity and suspicion. Taehyung whispering to himself, "Please let this be part of the mission. Please don't let him lie to me." He forced ABC Crop and please wearing a rust-top jacket he'd taken from a sleepy room. Moving carefully, he followed Jungkook's path and stopped outside a private office. He peeked through a small gap in the door and frozen. Inside, he saw Jisoo walking towards Jungkook with a smile. Jungkook was sitting in the chair, relaxed, confident. Jungkook smiled up at her. "Did you miss me?" Jisoo began softly. "Of course I did." Taehyung's heart sank as he watched Jisoo move towards Jungkook. Taehyung thinking his chest started. Is this real? He has been playing both of us. He wanted to turn away to run, but his feet refused to move. His heart felt heavy, his breath uneven. He clenched his fist to stop himself from crying out. Taehyung had to look away. The pain was too much, but he stepped back into the hallway. He suddenly heard Jungkook's voice again. This time it was colder, strong. Jungkook was on the phone. Jungkook from serious tone. "Yoon, where is he?" A pause. Jungkook was sharp. "No more excuse. Don't forget I am your boss, Yoon. You better find him before I reach the camp, or you all have a real problem." He ended the call, his expression unavailable, but the tone was enough to shake Taehyung to his core. Taehyung thinking, stand boss, Jungkook is giving orders. I thought he was just like me, a prisoner in all this, but he is in control. Everything suddenly felt different. Taehyung's chest felt hollow. His trust, his love, it all started to crumble. And then, before he could hide again, Jungkook turned around and caught sight of him. For a long moment, the hallway was silent. Their eyes looked. Jungkook surprised, spitting forward. Taehyung frozen was barely a whisper. "You lied to me?" They stood there both shaken. They truly had an unspoken feeling.